How we doing, everybody? Today, I've got a new topic for you. The topic of today is, what is success? Not just to you, but to society, all right? So I got a couple examples I wrote here, just my rambling. Being rich, being known, being remembered, being in charge, or being present, being talented, being useful, being disciplined. There are a lot of different markers for success. I'm going to read the definition here before I go on. Success is the subjective achievement of personal goals, fostering fulfillment and growth. I think that a lot of people have been indoctrinated into an idea or ideal for what success is. A lot of men might think that they need to be Andrew Tate or, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, in order to feel successful. And anytime that they don't meet that mark, they feel like a failure, or society tries to convince them that they are a failure. So this video here is to try and shed my point of view or shed some light on my perspective. Success, if success truly is the subjective achievement of personal goals, fostering fulfillment and growth, then success could be almost anything. Like, success for me is making sure that the dishes are done, the floor is swept, I make my bed, keep myself clean, get a workout in every day, get enough water, make sure the people around me are okay, focusing on physical, mental, and emotional health and maintaining your stress levels. I think that it's very easy to fall into the mindset of, I need to be a 6'6" man. I need to be 6 foot tall with a 6-figure job and a 6-inch, 6-inch pecker. For a long time, I tried to subscribe to not quite that mindset, but make a lot of money, be in power, be in control of people. That's the way. And I can't remember a time, like, maybe on payday, but otherwise, like, when does that make you feel fulfilled? It's such a fleeting idea. Like, you're never gonna be happy if all you're doing is, and people can. I'm pretty. I'd rather cry tears in a Lamborghini, or I'd rather cry tears on my yacht. And I've been on those. I've been in them. They're nice cars. And then you get the oil change bill. You get the speeding ticket. You get the crowds of people trying to take a picture of it, touch it. You know what I mean? And then what happens is your possession possesses you. So you stop being able to enjoy yourself in the moment and be present because you're constantly worrying about, did I make this payment, or did I, am I making sure that I'm utilizing all this stuff I have? Am I keeping tabs on the stuff I have? Am I making enough money? And so you fall into this trap where all this stuff that you've acquired, all these people that you have under you, it becomes uh something that you have to keep an eye on, or you'll start to lose yourself, your image. So I think that a better ideal for success would be to build something lasting. An idea, an invention, a business, a friendship, anything. A workout routine, you know what I mean? Like anything. But build something lasting that's repeatable that you will do in the future, into the future. So I got um, a list of goals and core values here. I'm just going to spit off. some of the goals that I've got for myself this year are to remain present, to strive to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Healthy as in physical, mental, and emotional stability. Wealth as, you know, not necessarily money, but yeah, if I am not sick, if I'm not taking pills, if I am able to run the distances that I want in the day, if I'm able to maintain relationships with people in my life that I want and remove those that I don't, that's wealth. You know, having the ability to spend time how I want to, maybe not every day, but regularly being able to do what I want with the time that I have. And then wise, being able to take the knowledge that I have and apply it practically. Not necessarily knowing everything that there is to know, but being able to discern the difference between acquired information and knowing how to navigate a situation, put it that way. And I've fallen into the trap of video games a lot, so I'm trying to free myself from distraction. You know, a lot of people, they make money off video games, but for a lot of us, it's just a good way to cope and pass some time. Another thing that I'd like to do, if anybody stumbles on these videos or has a conversation with me, is to try and enlighten them to the potential that they have. And nurturing that mentality and helping to provide an understanding towards unity. Like, if I can, the concept of unity is something that you should explore on your own, but working towards unity, I think, is a very healthy practice. And another thing is keeping the peace, and that doesn't mean like disarming myself and never fighting again, but it means to distance myself from bad actors and try to get bad actors to either change or remove their ability to practice theft by swindle, which is the acquisition of property or services through deceit, trickery, or false representation. I think that there's a lot of people in power, in government, in business, church, you name it, that use theft by swindle, fear and otherwise, to convince the population to do their bidding. And I think it's about time we end that. Yeah, and I'd like to build something that will transcend time. Ideally, it's an idea or an ideal. That's what I'm trying to theory craft here. Some of the core values that I have that I really would like to expand on and work, you know, it's a work in progress forever. And sometimes I'll do worse, sometimes I'll do better. But I'm working towards authenticity, health, hope, wisdom, and responsibility. There are many ways that authenticity can be interpreted, but it's acting true to yourself. So what do you believe? Get that nailed down, and then sticking to that. And sometimes you're going to falter, but then it's holding yourself accountable and realigning, reorienting yourself towards authenticity. Health, that's physical, mental, and emotional balance. Homeostasis is the goal. A lot of times, you know, you could spend periods not working out or working out too hard or not stretching or stretching too much. So it's a balance that you need to achieve. The mental stimulation, you can go times where you're not reading anything, you're not thinking too hard about anything, and then there's times where you know, maybe you should put the books down, maybe you should take a break from stimulation, you know. And then emotional balance. So that's, you know, having hard conversations with people or keeping it light with people that it's hard to be around, and, you know, creating the balance there essentially can can you have hard talks with people that you normally just goof off with? And vice versa. Can you goof around with somebody that you may not get along with very well? Wisdom, I've already kind of said this, but acquiring knowledge and practically applying it. So, like, something that I've gotten into in the last few years is gardening. And admittedly, that started out with I had a problem with weed, marijuana, and I was like, man, I cannot justify, never trying to have grown it. And then I grew it once, got that out of the way, and then the desire to be intoxicated. Like, 'cause I used to drink, and that got old. I got sick, got over it, and yeah, society convinces you very successfully, I'd say, to have a vice. And so I'm working towards shifting that vice to maybe, ice cream, or I don't know about ice cream, but something a little bit less detrimental to my health. And yeah, so now I've got 2 foot tall tomato plants. We're still about a month away from being able to put them outside, but healthier alternatives. In the future, I'd really like to be making salsas. So I want to grow my own peppers, tomatoes, all sorts of herbs. And I've got tomatoes and cucumbers, basil, thyme right now going. But I got plans to expand the garden, and hopefully in the future that will pay off. We didn't garden as my family growing up. We had blueberry bushes, but yeah, I think it's a great hobby to have. Gets you outside, gets you moving around, touching the ground, touching grass. So, yeah, I advise that you try it out. And then responsibility, which is ownership of actions, being thoughtful, and being ethical. So, yeah, taking ownership in actions. Sometimes you're going to fuck up, and being able to recognize that, apologize, and then make amends. That's something that in the past I did struggle with, but I'm working towards being responsible because that is something that I value. And there are a lot of people in life that I've met on both sides of the spectrum of responsibility. And I think that for the betterment of humanity, responsibility is something that people should put up on their priority list. Being thoughtful, remembering important details about situations, about people, taking notice of people's mental state, and trying to not necessarily like, come on, be happy, but giving people practical perspectives in order to enlighten them to different ways of thinking, different modes of being. And then ethical. I can remember I used to build houses. I've done a lot of service work, and for better or worse, America makes a lot of trash. So, and we use a lot of the earth just in general. Like, I can look around the room here, and half the stuff on the counter here is just minerals from the earth that we turned into something. All these pictures, all this paint, the rocks on the fireplace, my new on-air deal, it's all petroleum products. So, maybe we move towards more holistic building practices, or I don't know exactly on that one, but ethics is something that I'm exploring. So I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, I think the conclusion we'll go with is I think that people need to remind themselves and be reminded that we are stewards of the earth. We're supposed to be the shepherd. We're not supposed to be the apex predator. We might have elevated ourselves to that in our heads, but ultimately we are not meant to predate on the earth. We are meant to maintain it. And yeah, I don't think we've been doing too good of a job lately. So there's some thoughts to ponder. Thanks for your time. Peace out.